Hello and welcome to Johnson Praise TV. I'm thrilled to have you here. This video is all about synthesis essay and composite summary. I've already released a video on synthesis essay, also a video on errors, and then video on referencing. But today I'm going to take you through the easy steps on how you can write a synthesis essay. Yeah, I know most of you have really benefited a lot from the previous video, but this one I'm going to make it so simple for you to understand it, and also how to also write a summary from multiple sources. Okay, that is what we call a composite summary. So we'll take you through the guide, the differences between the normal summary and then a composite summary. So that is what we are coming to do, and we are going to delve more into main campus exam, the recent examination, which is 2024 past question. So we'll delve more into it, and then we'll see how we can do that. But remember that before you be able to write a very good synthesis essay, you must also learn to cite well. Proper citation really matters. So if you have not watched the video on citation and referencing as I released just yesterday, make sure you watch that video, because that one will also count, because the synthesis essay constitute 50% of your exams. So you have to make sure that you do that and you cite well with a proper citation and proper referencing. It will fetch you marks. So referencing and citation forms part of this synthesis essay, and you must do that. You must know how to cite. Those of you who watch, I ask you to drop some comment. Some of you drop some comment, and I've been able to correct them on some of the things that they should do and things they shouldn't do when they are referencing and summarizing things. And also with the errors too, I did that also yesterday. I think it was 30 minutes video, so I was able to explain the errors. We solved this past question, that's main campus past question. So without wasting my time, I would like to take you through the questions. But before then, please make sure you hit on the notification bell, okay, or the subscribe bell, and then give me a follow. Just hit on the subscribe button and give me a follow. Make sure you like, share it with your friend, and then subscribe. Also make sure you comment. Okay, I'll interact with you whilst the class is ongoing. So if you try and then also comment and then I'll give you feedback on that. I'll respond. That is it. So now let's get started. So this is how the whole thing is going to be. The synthesis essay alone constitutes what? 50% of it. Your IA was over 30, and I'm sure they give you some assignment. The assignment constitutes 10%. So the synthesis essay alone is what? 30%, and then the rest are going to take something like 20 or 30%. Do you understand it? So before you be able to do that, get all these marks, make sure you cite properly and you reference properly, and that will help you get that 30 marks. So let's get started. So it says write a composite summary of extract in section C in a paragraph. In a paragraph what? In the paragraph of about 15 sentences. Your summary should be devoid of excessive lifting of words from pages. So you have to write a composite summary of the extract in section C. They didn't give you any summary. It didn't give you a comprehension on to summarize it, but this time around they said the extract that they have given to you, you are to summarize that extract, and you are also to write a synthesis essay based on the extract they've given to you this time around. And you are not going to do things based on your own idea, but you're going to pick the information from the text. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't use your mind. You can make argument on that, make counter argument, and so on and so forth. But it must be based on the extract. Everything must be based on the extract you've been given. And also the second one says that the extract below contains information on narcissism. Okay, so from the various sources, so they've given you an extract on what? Narcissism, okay, from the various sources. So make sure that it says that use the information in this extract to write a synthesis essay of between 600 to 800 words. Please underline the thesis statement of your essay. So you are going to write a synthesis essay, and also what? Make sure you underline your thesis statement. This is what they gave to the regular student recently. So we are coming to delve more into that. The easy step on how you can actually get ideas to write your synthesis essay. That is going to give you 25 marks. And then also note that your argument should incorporate ideas from the extract using what? Summarizing, paraphrasing, and quoting techniques. So you are going to what? Incorporate the summary techniques, the paraphrasing techniques, and then quoting techniques. So you must know how to quote. If not, you won't get all the marks. It is 30 marks. But if you are not careful, if you do not quote properly and you do not cite properly, you are not going to get all the 30 marks. So this alone is going to give you 25 marks. And also, so in representing and synthesizing the views of the authors, demonstrate your knowledge of the appropriate use of reporting and reference verb. So you are going to use what? Reporting and referencing what? Verb. When you are referencing, according to Praise 2013, all these things are what? Things you should what? Use to ensure that you get all the marks. And also use them. So the other one says that use the information that what accompanies. Use the information that accompanies each extract to generate a reference list using either APA or MLA. So this one too, I taught you how to do that. So check that video on referencing, and I took you through that. So we were able to reference this particular extract, okay, or the information they gave to you. We're able to reference that. So this is what they are giving. They gave you 5 extracts. So this is only extract 1. After extract 1, they have given you information that is a reference information, which is here. After this one too, you come to what? Extract 2. So extract 2 to this is all about extract 2. So you have to read, and they have given you reference information. Extract 3 also contains what? Reference information. Extract 4, and then extract 5. This is how your exams is going to be. So we are now coming to break it down. Remember, the essay is on what? Narcissism. Okay, narcissism. So we are coming to look at what? Narcissism. So when you talk of narcissism, it's a personality trait characterized by what? By a grandiose of what? Sense of self-importance. Okay, a constant need for admiration, lack of empathy for others, and also individuals with narcissistic tendency often exhibit behavior such as arrogance, entitlement, and a belief in their own superiority. So in taking this attitude is where someone actually give self-importance to him or herself, and also what? Constant need for admiration. Okay, that is what? The narcissistic behavior. Okay, constant admiration, lack of empathy for others. They don't care about people. They don't step into people's shoes. They do whatever that will please them and do what is good for them. So this is what the behavior that the essay is going to discuss. So now you have an idea about what a narcissistic attitude is, what a narcissistic or a narcissism means. So we are coming to what? Go through the extract. So in breaking the extract down, because of time, I can't read all the information. If I have to read it, it will take about 15 minutes to read all these things. So I'm coming to what? Break this information down. So this is how it's going to be. So extract 1 provide overview of what? Narcissism as a personality trait distinct from what? A healthy self-esteem and its association with problematic interpersonal behavior and potential link of depression. So this is what extract 1 is talking about. it provides overview of what narcissism as a personal trait distinct from what a healthy self-esteem, and its what association with what problematic interpersonal behaviors and personal links to what depression. 2 also talks about what it expands the concept of what narcissism by digesting between social narcissism and pathological narcissism, highlighting their characteristics and impact on individual behavior and attitude. When you read extract 3, it also discusses narcissism in terms of what craving for approval and what satisfaction, drawing parallels to what addictive behaviors and emphasizing the role of internal self-perception and narcissistic tendencies. And then the fourth extract also talks about it, introduce the concept of digital narcissism, exploring how social media platforms contribute to the amplification of narcissistic traits and pursuit of validation and self-promotion in online spaces. And then the fifth one examines the historical and contemporary perception of what narcissism, acknowledging its negative connotation while also recognizing the potential adaptive function and then prevalence of what narcissistic traits in society. So now we have an idea about narcissism. So this is how we are going to do. The easy step I'm going to take you through. This is what I'm going to do. So before then, you must break the structure, and let me show you something. When you get essay like this, when they give you essay like this, without even you see this one, I've been able to break it down. But let's take it like you are there. If you don't really know what the essay is talking about. So when they give you the exams, okay, when they give you the paper, the first thing you should do, come to the reference information, check the title. What is the title? It says that what narcissism. Read it. It says what title says that what narcissism and adjustment in people, that is ruthless rude. That is what extract 1 talks about. Do you get it? So this will also help you if you are constructing or you are coming with what a topic sentence. It will help you to what come up with what a topic sentence when you are trying to write about the extract 1. It will help you to develop a topic sentence. Let's go to extract 2, reference information. It says that narcissism and political orientation. So you also know that extract 2 is talking about narcissism and political orientation. Let's get to extract 3. Extract 3. So the title also talks about narcissism as addiction to esteem. You also have idea about, at least if you've not read the whole extract, but you know that this is what it's talking about because that's the book or the journal that they pick, and this is a journal article. So this is the information they pick. Let's get to extract 4. Extract 4. The title says that from narcissism to what face work, 2 views on self. Okay, sorry. Let me take it again. From narcissism to face work, 2 views on the self in social interaction. So that one too is going to what, at least without even reading the whole extract, I know that it's going to what talk about the views on what on the self in social interaction. Self in social interaction. How people put their interest in social interaction. How they portray themselves or rate themselves. Okay, I really know that. So at least you know what you'll be doing, right? And then let's read the last one. The reference information says that all about me, right? All about me. So it also what talks about the person, okay? How maybe the person will put himself in a formal conversation. So that is it. Now we are coming to look at how the structure. This is how the structure will be. You must give a background in every essay, there must be a background. The background can be in a form of definition. It can be in a form of a quotation. It can be in a form of explanation. It can be in a form of statistics. A background can be anything. So, and the information they've provided, you cannot, after reading, but you see, after doing this, after checking the referencing information or the reference information, you have to now read the whole paragraph. So as you are reading, you underline the salient point. Already you know it's talking about narcissism. If extract 1, let me take it, extract 5. Extract 5, let's look at the reference information here. All about me. Okay, so as you are reading about extract 5, you look at information that you think maybe it is what talking about a topic that you've been discussed already, and then you'll be underlining them. So when you are to start the essay, you won't struggle. Already you underline the salient points. You underline, the more you write, you underline, the more you read. As you read, you underline what? The salient point. So at the end of the day, if you are developing an essay, it won't be difficult for you. You won't have to read everything to get information, but the information you've underlined already will help you. Okay, so anything you think it is important, as you are reading, there are certain information that are not needed, but the most important information, especially the topic sentences and the supporting sentences that are in, and you already know how your supporting sentences are. They give explanation, definition, they give examples on certain issues. Okay, so as you read them, you underline the topic, the supporting sentences in the essay, and then the topic sentences. So at the end of the day, if you have to develop an essay, you will know how you go about it. Now let's get to the structure. So with the structure, after getting your background, either you quoting from the essay, or you now develop you write something in relation to what? Narcissism. Okay, now after that, you must what? Introduce your thesis statement. You must introduce your thesis statement. So the thesis statement is very, very important. The thesis statement is part of the introduction, but here they say that you must make sure you highlight your thesis statement. So it's either you bring your thesis statement in the introduction, or you bring it at the end. Okay, because they said you should highlight the thesis statement. So you must have a thesis statement, and in developing a thesis statement, will help you. Somebody is finding it difficult to understand a thesis statement. Let me break it. When you talk of a thesis statement, it is the controlling idea. It controls the whole essay. Let me say something. I am writing an essay, and I say, oh, democracy is regarded as one of the multifaceted concepts in Africa. Many people have different views about democracy, but in this essay, the effect of democracy will be discussed. Okay, so at the end of the day, I've given you an introduction, but my thesis statement is what? The effect of democracy. So if I read your thesis statement, I know that your essay is going to be centered about democracy, the effect of what? Democracy in Africa. So that is what the thesis statement. So the thesis statement controls the whole idea. It's like they asking you to write about a noun. Okay, so the moment you hear about noun, you know that everything that is going to be, it's either going to be the types of noun, examples of noun, or anything, but the whole thing is talking about what? Noun. Do you understand it? But in essays like this, you must develop a stand, a personal point. Okay, you must develop a personal stand in it. So it may be talking about the extract you are reading. You can't use every information in it. So that doesn't mean you should use every information. There are some things that you think it is important that you would like to talk about. And so you pick the information you think it is in agreement with whatever you agree or you want to write about. Then you write. It can be talked in one extract. an essay can be the extra can talk about the effect of democracy and maybe the importance of democracy. Which of them are you going with? And if you go to extra 2, it can be talking about the models of democracy. Which of them are you taking as a stand? So which of them can you use to support it? So already you say you are coming to talk about effect of democracy. So as you are writing, I'm expecting that your essay focuses on what? The effect of democracy. That is it. So that is controlling it. You normally have you write and develop what? A thesis statement, but I don't know whether it is a thesis statement. The name is what? Different, but you write it every day. The lecturer will give you an essay and it says, oh, write about the causes of teenage pregnancy. The causes of teenage pregnancy, we are ready. That is going to be what? The thesis statement, because that is going to control the whole idea, the things that you are going to write. Everything will have to be centered on what? The teenage pregnancy. Depending, doesn't matter the topic you give, it has to what? Fall under causes of teenage pregnancy. Do you understand it? So you develop a thesis statement. The thesis statement can be maybe about narcissism. You are going to talk about how people put their self in a formal conversation. Okay, that is your thesis statement. So now you look for information that support that argument, and then you go. So in getting those information, this is where your developmental paragraphs come in. So I'll take it there, then you understand it better. Now you move to the next step is what? You move to after that after giving your thesis statement. Now you move to your developmental paragraph. You've introduced the thesis statement. Thesis statement should always be introduced at the end of the introductory paragraph. Do you get it? But here they say you should highlight it. But if you think you don't really have enough space, or you'll be writing a lot and you can't, you may go beyond the words, because this one they say 600 words, so it's likely to be 1.5 page or 1 page. Do you get it? So if 1 or 1.5 page is okay, or yes, or 2 pages, the maximum should be 2 pages. Don't go beyond that, right? So let's now look at it. 600 should be 1.5 page, but if you're going to 800 words, then it should be 2 pages. Yes, so that is it. Now let's look at this one. After that, you develop what? Your body or developmental paragraph. So developmental paragraphs, in developing a paragraph, the parts of a paragraph is what? A topic sentence, supporting sentence, and concluding sentence. So now we are coming to talk about the effect of democracy in Africa. So which of the effect of democracy are you going to talk about? Let's take like number 1, electoral malpractice. That is going to be what? So that is one of the effect of democracy. So you see, electoral malpractice falls under effect of democracy. Do you understand? It is under the thesis statement. So your topic sentence should fall within your thesis statement. Simple as that. Do you understand? So now you develop a point like that. Oh, the effect of democracy, electoral malpractices. That is what? Under the effect of democracy. So now after talking about electoral malpractices, that is what your topic sentence. Electoral malpractices is what your topic sentence. But since this you are going to write from multiple sources or information that has been provided to you already, what you have to do is that you look for information that support electoral malpractice, and then you quote it. So you go through it. Let's say like Johnson Praise said that in Africa 2,000 people dies out of 2,000 people die in every election year in Africa, okay, due to what? Electoral malpractices. 2,000 people die each and every year. So you are coming to quote whatever I said. I said it in 2024. So I'm teaching you the references. So if you want to quote whatever I said, use my last name, and then you after using my last name, use parentheses. That is what? A bracket, okay, and then you write the year that I quoted. Then the words that I said, you put it in double quotation mark. But after you write the year, you put it in bracket. You should bring a full stop. So it will be praise. That is Johnson Praise. So use praise 2000. Then in bracket 2012. Okay, 2024. Then you close the bracket. And you bring, after closing, you bring full stop. Then the words I said, you quote me 2,000 people dies out of what election every year due to electoral malpractice, then you quote it again with double quotation, you are done. You are done quoting me. So now you are going to, now whatever I said that in that paragraph I'm talking about electoral malpractices, okay, as an effect of what democracy. So which are some of the things that are information that are in that extract that will support whatever that will support electoral malpractices in Ghana, electoral malpractices, apart from the quote that you do. You get those information, you can give your own view. So after you can now look for more information. If you do not get anything about whatever that you quoted alone is, then you comment about it, but you might make sure you develop a personal stand. Okay, that is what you believe. You believe that electoral malpractices is an effect of democracy. In what way? You already, so in agreement with Johnson Praise, or yes, so you say in agreement with what Johnson Praise said, then you don't say my full name, or you quote me. I've taught you how to quote it. In agreement with Praise 2024, this. Then after you are done, you come and now give your personal view on it. Do you get it? And if there are additional information in the paragraph that you think you can use to support, that is what we call the supporting sentences. Then you add them. Then after you are done, you give a concluding what? Sentences. So with that one, the conclusion, you conclude it. About that one, make sure you conclude it with just a paragraph. Just a sentence, right? It shouldn't be, the conclusion shouldn't be plenty. It should be about the things that you've stated. Okay, so you write a conclusion for that. That is what, let's say you've done this for extract 1, you go to extract 2, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you should write about all the five extra they've given to you. You can decide if the things you are writing about, you only get those information from three extract. Just focus on these 3 extracts and then write it. So you develop a developmental paragraph or a body paragraph, first body paragraph. You go and develop a second. Remember, you've written an introduction already, so that one is not part of the things you are writing about. So you develop first paragraph. That, let's say you're speaking about electoral malpractices. Another one is what? Corruption. So corruption too, you go through. So extract 2 is talking about corruption. Then you develop corruption. Yeah, that is what your topic sentence. What are some of the things that support corruption? Africa loses 70 billion to corruption every year, according to what? Mercy 2017. You look for information that support it, then you add it, then you move forward, and then after that you go to the third paragraph, the third extra, or maybe the fourth doesn't support whatever you are saying. It's maybe giving a counter view. Then you go to the fifth, you get to maybe the fifth extract. Then you get something that also talk about the effect of democracy, which is one is what one is let's say like continuous election. Okay, continuous election every year, which is serving as yardstick to democracy of Africa. That one too, you talk about that. You take it and you talk about it. Then after you are done, you what? So developmental part. Then you talk about your conclusion. You restate. So first one, after you are done, the things you don't introduce new idea in your conclusion, but I think the things you've discussed already are the things you should talk about. So you restate your ideas you've stated in the essay, and then you summarize it. But you can conclude by giving a concluding remarks. That one can be in a form of suggestion, rhetorical question, or advice. Okay, so you can maybe say, upon all these assertions, can't we now agree that democracy is doing us more than harm? Do you get it? It's a suggestion you have given. It's your personal view that you get it, but it is from the things you have discussed. But always when you are making such argument, if you have the time, a counter argument also matters. But that one, you should know. If you haven't gotten much idea about the things you are going to write, don't do counter argument. But you only have 2 hours, so you can do counter argument. You look for the things that really opposes whatever you are discussing in the essay, then you counter it with what? With fact from the essay. Do you get it? Maybe extract 2 is only opposing whatever that you are talking about. So you look for information, then you highlight it and you counter it. And if you know the extract, the things that you are quoting are many, make sure that you leave you bring what? Ellipsis. If the things you'll be quoting, there are many. Maybe the democracy of Africa has been one of the worst in the world, okay, but you think it is too long, so and you don't really need has been the you only need democracy in Africa has been the worst, but you don't want to add the word to it. Now you bring ellipsis to it, then you bring what? Your double quotation mark. You are good to go. You move forward. Whatever that continues, that one the person should search and then get that information. It doesn't concern you again. You are done. You are good to go. So with the thesis statement, now let's look at the narcissism. The narcissism. Okay, let's look at the thesis statement that I developed. The thesis statement. So the thesis statement of this perspective on narcissism elucidates the multifaceted nature and comparison of both positive and negative attributes, highlighting the complex interplay between individual characteristics, societal influences, and cultural norms. So this is my thesis statement. The thesis statement of this perspective, okay, on narcissism elucidate its multifaceted nature. So it's multifaceted, that the different, the complex, the intricate nature of what? Narcissism. How broad and the scope of narcissism. That is what I'm talking about. And then in comparison of both positive and negative. So which means that the idea, the essay that I spoke about, it encompasses of what? Both the negative and then the positive what? Attribute of narcissism. Right? And highlighting the complex interplay between individual characteristics, societal influence, and cultural norms. So it also highlighted what? The interplay between individual characteristics, societal influence, and cultural norms. That is my thesis statement. So now, let's now see how we develop this essay. Okay, let's look at how we can now develop this essay. Okay, so this is it. So this is my introduction. Narcissism characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance and a constant need for admiration, has been generally significant. Okay, has a Okay, so I'm taking it again. Narcissism, characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance and constant need for admiration, has garnered significant attention both clinically and non-clinically populations. Various perspectives on narcissism shed light on its multifaceted nature and its impact on individuals and society. While some emphasize its detrimental effect, others highlight potential benefits and prevalence of narcissistic traits in the general population. So that is what my introduction. So you see, I picked my introduction from the first extract. Okay, the extract 1. That's where I picked my introduction from. So I'm going to now write about the developmental paragraph. So this is how I am going to go about it. You look at extract 1. When you go through extract 1, the writers are many. There are multiple writers, right? And we have what? Multiple writers. That is authors. We have what? Rahel E. Poloeti. We have Madhavi Menon. We have Minak and Menon. And we have what? Desari D. We have Tubin David. And then we have Perry. So these people are all the writers. They are more. So this is how I did it. Okay, so instead of writing all their names, I brought a towel. A towel means what? Others. Okay, so I use what? Pulueti. So Pulueti et al. Means a Pulueti and then the rest. So Pulueti et al. 2012. So and then after 2012, comma, right? 2012, comma. So I continue by saying so. But if you are using the APA style, you have to quote it. Use quotation, double quotation mark. So narcissism is what? Distinguished from healthy self-esteem by its chronic need for social approval and admiration. Individuals with narcissistic tendency often exhibit unpleasant interpersonal behaviors such as arrogance, conceit, and ability. Moreover, narcissism is not solely associated with negative trait, but it may also correlate with depression, particularly with adults and adolescents. This suggests complex interplay between narcissism and psychological adjustment. So this is what my first paragraph. Okay, that is my developmental paragraph 1. I go to the developmental paragraph 2. That is from extract 2. So this one too, we have 2 writers. So I quoted them. That is what Hetimi and Fazescas. Okay, so I explained that. Okay, so I say that so you can decide to say that according to this, in agreement with this, Kwame asserted that, Ajua argued that, Kwesi postulated that, okay, Kwesi 2017 postulated that. So this is what different ways you can quote someone's idea, okay, by using the right words. So further delineate between social narcissism and pathological narcissism, emphasizing the continuum nature of narcissistic traits in the population. Okay, while social narcissism is characterized by grandiosity and sense of entitlement, pathological narcissism entails vulnerability and emotional instability. Despite the negative connotation, narcissism is associated with positive qualities such as confidence, extraversion, and leadership skills. However, it is accompanied by a heightened desire for control and admiration, often at expense of what? At the expense of others. And 2, the second one, the third extract, this is what I did. So I quoted what? Bumwester and then Volps, 2001. So propose what? An addiction model of narcissism. So here it could be in a form of what? A paraphrase or a direct quotation. If you are using the direct quotation, make sure you use what? You use a parenthesis. You use how do you call it? A quotation mark. Okay, double quotation mark. So if you are quoting directly, but if you are paraphrasing, that one is not needed. You can go by this, how I did it. So propose the addiction model of narcissism, suggesting that narcissists are driven by craving for esteem rather than external approval. Cognitive distortions enable narcissists to maintain superior self-image irrespective of external validation. This addiction to self-esteem is likened to other forms of addiction, with narcissistic seeking intrapsychic satisfaction through self-aggrandizement. And then also the fourth one, I did the same. So the fifth one, it's also what I went through it and then I wrote it. So this is what I wrote for both fourth and then fifth. So now after that, we are coming to read our thesis statement. So the thesis statement, so this perspective on narcissism elucidates its multifaceted nature, encompassing of both positive and negative attributes, and highlights the complex interplay between individual characteristics, societal influences, and cultural norms. So that is what I've been able to underline my thesis statement. So when you are done, you come and give reference. So this is how you reference it. This one, the first one, you see, when you are referencing, I told you that it should what be in a form of what, you should what, it should, when you are referencing, it should be in alphabetical order. So you see, I started with B, went to H, L, P, P. That is how it is. So P is the last. So that is it. So the first one, Bumuesta, RF. So when you are quoting, when you are referencing, bring the person. If you are using the APA style, bring the person's last name, okay, followed by the person's initial. So my name is, let's say my name is Johnson Praise Akwesi. So I'll use Akwesi. So I'll use Akwesi, followed by the Johnson Praise is what, JP. So Akwesi, comma, J should what, when you're writing people's initial, you must bring full stop, okay. So J full stop, P full stop, right? So this is how they did it with, I did it here, that's how I did it. So this is what, Bumuesta, R dot F dot. So when you are done, if there's another writer, if there's any other author, you add the person's what, name, you add the person. So you bring comma, that irrespective of whether the person, you have brought a full stop, you must bring a comma when you are adding. And vowels, which is what, the vowels is the last name. So the initials start with what, KD. So you bring that. The years you come, so you code the year in parentheses, and so the year, that is 2001 dot. And then if you are using the APL style, quote it, use what, use direct, but with this one like this. So you bring what, the article, okay, the title of the article, that is what, narcissism as addiction to esteem. And then you bring the article type, and then the information that is needed. You bring it, you bring the volume number, which is what, volume 12, okay, and then you followed by the page number. So this is if you need more assistance on how to what, reference it, go check my other video. I've really explained it well. So without wasting my time, let's get to the composite summary. So we'll look at the composite summary and how we can solve it. So when you talk of a composite summary, it's a condensed and cohesive overview that integrates information from multiple sources or extract on a particular topic, It involves synthesizing key ideas, themes, and perspective from various texts into a single or unified summary. So composite summary is different from the normal summary. At this point, you are to what? You are to synthesize key ideas, themes, and perspective from what? From various texts into a single unified summary. So the purpose of a composite summary is to provide a comprehensive understanding of a subject by combining insight from different sources. This type of summary is often emphasized by what? Commonalities, differences, and searching themes, and oversearching themes present in the original text. The goal is to present a holistic view of the topic without excessive repetition or direct quoting, using the summarizer's own word or to convey the main point from each source. So the goal is to present a holistic view on the topic without excessive repetition or direct quoting. So here you are to avoid direct quoting when you are doing this type of summary. That is a composite summary. You should avoid direct quoting or repetition. And here too, you should also using or you are to also do it without the summarized own words. So you are going to use your own words to summarize it. You are not going to use whatever that is it. In the synthesis essay, you use the writer's ideas to write your essay, right? Is that not it? But here you are going to use your own idea, and it also shows whether you understand. I always advise that you finish the synthesis essay before doing the composite essay summary, even though it comes as number 2. But make sure you finish the synthesis essay because after writing the synthesis essay, you get more idea about the whole extract, right? So if you now decide to write the composite summary, that one will help you to summarize well without using your ideas, but you can tell the ideas in the extract. But without doing that, if you say you are going to start with the composite summary before the synthesis essay, you may miss a lot of things, because the synthesis essay carries a lot of mark. This one will constitute, let's say, like 20% of the whole exams, but the synthesis essay carries 50%, or it constitutes 50% of the whole thing. So here you have to use your own words to convey the main point of each source. So that is how you are going to do. Let's look at the differences. So to look at the differences between differences between the normal summary and the composite summary. So this is how it is. So let's look at the normal summary. The normal summary typically involves condensing the main point or key ideas from a single source or text. It aims to capture the essential information or central argument and significant detail within that particular piece of content. So the normal summary, what it does is to condense the main ideas and then key ideas from a single source of a text, and it aims to capture essential information, central argument, and important details within that particular piece of content. But with the composite summary, it also has some little similarities. Composite summary, on other hand, synthesizes information from multiple source or extract. So here they won't give you a summary, but they'll give you extract for you to summarize that, do this composite summary. So you synthesize information from multiple sources or extracts on a given topic. It goes beyond summarizing a single text, and it involves integrating insight from various texts into a cohesive overview. The goal is to provide a comprehensive understanding of a topic by incorporating perspective from different sources. So here with the normal summary, when you pick one extract, you have to summarize that whole thing. But with the synthesis essay, you can get your information from extract 1 and extract 5. You get it for the whole thing. So that is how you are going to do. So you have to go through all the extract and then pick information. You pick information from it and then you summarize it. So while normal summary focuses on distilling the information from one source, a composite summary involves the integration of synthesis of information from multiple sources, offering a more holistic perspective on a particular subject. So here it goes the goal is to get information from multiple sources, but with the normal summary it's not like that. So now you know the differences. Now let's look at how we can now tackle the composite summary. So how you can tackle the composite summary. A composite summary is a concise and a cohesive overview of multiple sources or pieces of information on a particular topic. In this case, a composite summary synthesizes key points from the provided extract on narcissism into a unified narrative. So composite summary, it should be in one paragraph. That is how. So they said you should use about 15 sentences to construct to write a comprehensive. When you say comprehensive, it should capture all the ideas. It should be comprehensive, it should be broad. So a comprehensive composite summary. So now, first of all, this is what you should do. Read and understand the extract carefully. So you have to read and understand. So carefully read each extract to grasp the main ideas and arguments presented by the authors. So when you have to read carefully each of the extracts, read them well to get all the ideas, to understand what they were talking about. So in the pick extract 1, what were they talking about? You must read and understand it, and if you understand it, it will help you to write such summary. And also, so it's not only one extract that you are reading. You read all the extract and understand each of the extract, what it is talking about, and how the key ideas in that paragraph or in that extract. 2, identify key themes. So identify common themes and recurring topics across the extract. Each of the definition on narcissism, its manifestation, societal implication, and underlying mechanism. So here you are to identify key themes. What are the key themes? The key themes in the extract, such as the definition of narcissism is a key theme. Okay, it explained it, and also its manifestation. How does it really manifest? So you must understand that one also, and then its implication. What are the implications of narcissism, and then the underlying mechanism. So you must also know all these things, and then it will help you to write a composite summary. So you must identify the key themes. So you must summarize each extract. So condense the content of each extract into its potential point, focusing on key concept, findings, argument presented by authors. So if you are done, you have to summarize each of the extracts. So you go through all of them, and then you condense the content, okay, of each extract into its potential point, and also focus on key concept, findings, and also argument presented by authors. And also when you are done too, you synthesize the information. So integrate the summarized information from all the extract, weaving together key points while maintaining coherence and then flow and a logical flow. So when you are done, you synthesize all the information. After making sure that after summarizing the exact extract, you make sure you synthesize the information, put them together, and ensure that they make sense. Okay, logical flow by using the right words, and you should using the right cohesive devices. Okay, and also ensuring use the right pronouns, the right prepositions, and then the transitional words. Okay, and also you maintain neutral language. Avoid bias and ensure objectivity by using neutral language, and refraining from favoring any particular viewpoint presented by extract. So here you have to avoid being biased, but do objective summary. Okay, what is the extract talking about? So you should do just that. Okay, but avoid being biased. Okay, and also ensure clarity and conciseness. So you must ensure that there's clarity and conciseness, and that is it. So that is all about it. So let's now look at how I am going to solve my own. And if you have to edit, review and edit whatever, but since you are going to write it, make sure you understand everything before you put the pen on the paper, because you won't be able to read, edit it. But when you are done, you can only read and maybe make some correction, read over. If you don't have the time, you can't read, so make sure you understand it before. So we are now coming to look at the solution, the step by step, how I did mine. So the multifaceted views, I spoke about it. So when you are doing, so the idea was driven from the various perspectives presented in all extracts, which collectively contribute to a comprehensive understanding of mechanism. So this is when the topic is narcissism. So you must look at the multifaceted view of the narcissism, how complex narcissism is. So you look at the intricate view of narcissism, and then you have to distinguishing between self-esteem and pathological narcissism. That is extract 2. So this concept was extracted from extract 1, extract 2, and extract 5, which discusses the differences between healthy self-esteem and pathological narcissism, and also highlighting the latter's negative impact on relationships and pathological well-being, which is the pathological narcissism. It highlights the negative impact of relationship and pathological well-being. And also the fourth one also talk about positive attributes of narcissism. So with the positive attributes of narcissism, I got the extract from extract 2 and extract 5. It touches upon what the positive aspect of narcissism, such as confidence, leadership skills, and agentic behavior alongside its negative trait. And also the fourth one is also about the discussion of digital narcissism. So the viewpoint was sourced from extract 4, which explores the influence of social media and narcissistic tendency of self-promotion. And then the last one is extract 3. So you see, I didn't really follow the exact extract as they've been extract 5, extract 6. No, you can pick the information from all the extract, but you must present a a comprehensive view of it, or a comprehensive summary. And also addictive nature of narcissism. So extract 3 discusses an addictive self-esteem, suggesting that individuals with narcissistic traits seek internal validation rather than external approval. So that is it. And then also that is it. You look at the complexity of narcissism and stuff. Let me look at the final work I did here. Okay, so the extract on narcissism present a multifaceted view of personality trait. Okay, the extract on narcissism present multifaceted view of this personality trait, emphasizing its diverse manifestation and societal implication. They distinguish between self-esteem and pathological narcissism, with a focus on latter's detrimental effect on interpersonal relationship and psychological adjustment, while narcissism is characterized by a sense of entitlement and a constant need for admiration. Also, it encompasses of positive attributes such as confidence and leadership skills. The discussion extends to digital narcissism, highlighting the role of social media in exacerbating narcissistic tendency and fostering self-promotion. Additionally, the extract explores the addictive nature of narcissism, suggesting that an individual with narcissistic traits crave internal validation rather than external approval. A historical perspective for narcissism reveals its enduring presence in human nature, with contemporary view reflecting a nuanced understanding of its adaptive and maladaptive aspects. Okay, overall, the synthesis essay of this perspective highlights the complexity of narcissism as a personality trait shaped by individual characteristics, societal influence, and cultural norms. So this is what I wrote. So you can go through them and you solve also them. So that is all about composite summary. So at the end of the day, we've tackled all these things. So you should also follow exact steps. Okay, follow exact steps, and this should be your guide. This should be your guide in writing a synthesis essay. But with the composite summary, I've given you the guide already. So you must go through all these things, and I think it will be at the end of the day, your exams is going to be beneficial. So please make sure you hit on the subscribe button to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to take this opportunity to advertise my business, which is Touchstrat Digital. We are into digital marketing. We promote businesses, brands. We are a social media. We are digital marketing agency or advertising agency. Our services include social media marketing, strategic branding or rebranding, search engine optimization, data analytics, market research and analysis, content marketing, affiliate marketing, influencer marketing, competitive analysis, account management. That is graphic designing, email marketing, pay-per-click, media strategy and planning, app store optimization, web design services. So you can get in touch with us on this number, that is 0503909090, or you email us at topstratdigital@gmail.com, or you follow us on social media, our social media handle, that is Topstrat Digital. God bless you for liking, for watching, and also sharing with your friends. I wish you all the best in your exams.